So, hello everyone. We have three students from Tata Institute of Social Sciences, and they are the student of analytics course. Raksha Mahajan is there, and then Prithipal Singh and Subham Pramane. They will be telling you about the admission process. What is the process? What is the first round? What happens in the second round? What is the eligibility? Who all can apply to the course? And what is this analytics course? Okay, and they will take all the questions. Some of the questions I have compiled because you have sent me before, so I will be asking. I have forwarded them the question. We'll go through those questions one by one, and upon that there are more questions we'll take, and then at last they will take your personal questions. Okay, you can also ask some questions which will be missed maybe in the collective questions, then you can ask that. So we'll start with a brief introduction. Let's start with Prithvi. Prithvi, you can tell about yourself and also about what you did earlier. A brief about yourself.
Hi everyone. My name is Prithvipal Singh Devda. I am from Jodhpur, Rajasthan, and I come from the Indian Army family, and I have done my schooling from Kendra Vidyalaya Sanghadan and moved at various places.
So I have done my graduation in hotel management from IHM Pusa, New Delhi. And after that, I was placed in Lalit Hotels as a management trainee. But due to Corona, my job was revoked, and side by side, I was preparing for defense sources. And I've cleared a number of times UPSC, CDS, FCAT, and been to SSB 16 time. But due to some reason, I was not able to make into the final list. As well as side by side, I have worked for two startups. On first one was the event management, and second one was the providing mentorship to the students by the name of Defense Ustad. I was a teacher there and I used to provide mentorship. And by the time I got to know about it, develop interest in analytics and data science, and I got to know about tests. And finally, I landed into tests. Right now, I'm interning as a data analyst intern in sales. And as well as in my college, I am an executive member of Alumni and Corporate Relationship Committee. Thank you.
Okay, so you are from the hotel management, so there will be
Completely
questions
nonsense.
that
Nonsense.
there will be questions that I am from non-technical background. Can I be the part of this course? So yes, you are one example of that. Shubham, can you speak?
Yes, sir. So myself, Shubham Pramanik. I'm from Gujarat, Bharuch, natively from West Bengal. So I've done my bachelor's in physics. Then I wanted to go for MBA, and for that I've started preparing for CAT. Side by side, I was doing many internships as a market research analyst, then market analyst at Infosys, which was a big breakthrough for me, and where I come forward with analytics world for the first time. There, I developed the interest, and then CAT happened, BizNet happened, and then analytics happened. Now I'm a class representative of a first year analytics batch. And apart from a CR, I've entered into a new role as a project intern of data analyst in a NASDAQ acquired company, which is called Adenza. So Adenza is a fintech company. And it's been 25 days I've been intern with the company.
Okay, fine. Raksha, you can speak about this.
Hello, am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, okay. Hello, everyone. Greetings for the day. It's really great to have you guys here. So, yeah, my name is Raksha Mahajan. I hail from Nagpur, Maharashtra. I completed a bachelor's in electrical engineering. Post that, I joined Tata Consultancy Services, where I worked for around 3.5 years in banking, finance, services, and insurance domain. For the past, since 2022, I started preparing for MBA entrances exam, and eventually I landed up in this, as you all know, doing my master's in first year. And
Okay, could you please repeat what was your graduation?
In electrical engineering.
Okay, fine. Okay, so we saw that all the students, three students are from various courses. They are not from just the technical courses, so to say. Now, the first question I will ask you people is all about what is basically this data science?
Yes, sir. Sir, same question
Yeah.
was asked yesterday by a friend of mine who is preparing for MBA and was curious what data analysis is. So I told him that you see, data comes from everywhere. You be in a marketing, you be in a finance, HR, or operations, wherever vertical you are, the data will come to you. And many other times it happens that there is a data with you, but you don't know what to do with that data. So we come, we as a data analyst, we have some domain knowledge, we have some technical knowledge. We use domain knowledge, technical knowledge, and we use our surrounding knowledge. That is what is happening right now in this industry, in this company, in this nation as a whole. And then we take all this knowledge, all this expertise, and we try to bring some insight, some meaning out of that data, which can avoid losses to the company or organization, or it can bring revenues or profit to that company. It can do it in many ways. It can do by predicting, it can do by describing what happened and why it happened, and it can do by prescribing that if you do this, then this will happen.
I want to give an example is that data is everywhere. Means like we are doing this session, someone can go and take out this transcript of it, then he can do data mining and then he can get to know what the frequency of what, and he can get the idea of what we have talked about it. So data is beyond our imagination.
And that is being possible for the first time, that we are able to analyze it because we have tools right now.
Yes.
The collection of data was also not possible earlier because the data was fragmented and dispersed. Today we have data centers, whatever social media thing is there, that is kept at a place, and all the information is kept at a particular server, you can say mega server. Now, previously that server used to happen in an office. Now you have through cloud, you have cloud data centers. So there, a lot of information is there, and those customer data, for example, can be used to better analyze what type of product they want or what improvement they want in their product, and it can target the market better. So it has many applications. Now I will come to the questions which I have collected. The first question is, anybody can take. I think Prithvi will take. It will be better. I don't have a technical degree. Can I apply for this course? Yes, you can apply for this course. Now the second part is, so will this help me, or will this be a problem in the selection interview?
I personally believe that there is no problem because in my interview, they asked me, do you know Excel? I said, I never used Excel. They asked me, do you know statistics? I said, I only know mean, median, mode in statistics. I don't know about it. So basically, and it is not depends upon tools and all these things. It depends upon your mind, how you process things. So this is the analytics. And you can learn these things. They are not a big thing that you can't learn. You can learn all these things within few months. That's it. So it is easy thing, not a tough thing. So you can easily clear it. And personally, I have given an interview of 15 minutes. That's it for analytics. And I scored 70 above marks just in 15 minutes.
Okay. So the second thing, and the second question is, can a student from non-math background should opt for analytics course? Because I think analytics means data, and start the same question it is. Are programming languages like Python, SQL, Java, etc. essential? Is it mandatory to know coding or have knowledge of software? And if not, what if will it come handy if a person has a knowledge of such things? So that will come handy, although it is not required. So Shubham, you can say knowing some tools will help in the course, maybe.
Sir, just before answering this question, I want to add something. Like Prithvi mentioned that it is not a obstacle that you are from a different background, not relevant background. Let's say not non-tech background. So I would say that actually being from a different background is an advantage. if you are into data analytics, people expect you a diverse set of skill sets, a diverse set of thinking, a pattern, and that can only come if you are from a diverse background. So that is an advantage, not a disadvantage. Now going forward, that whether a technical skill like Python, programming, Excel, would that be a helpful? So yes, it would be helpful, but for example, in my case, I was not aware about any programming language. I was just good in Excel, and it was because I was using it more often, and so I knew some few functions. That's all. But um, the question is whether the interviewer will judge you on that. So my answer is no. They won't judge you. They would rather see in you that whether you have that learning capability, whether you have that eagerness to learn the tools or not, whether you have that curiosity or not. So if you have those curiosity, if you are okay with the adaptability part, then and you are okay to start your career.
Okay. Then one question is that I have a gap in my education. Okay. That gap might be 2 years, 3 years, and so on. Will that matter in the selection process of this course? See, as far as gap is concerned, you will have to justify your gap. How you can, there are people who will be having gaps and they are called for the interview. The very fact that you are called for the interview tells you that they are willing to take you if you can justify that gap. There should not be a guilt consciousness that you have gap. Just show to them how better you utilize that gap. Okay, what you were doing during that time. If you utilized, preparing for examination is also a utilization. And as Prithvi said that he was preparing for SSB so many times. So yes, gap can be there, I believe. Now, there is also one question. What is the selection process of interview? Raksha, could you highlight, or Prithvi, anybody can say about testnet and then the second part. So Prithvi, you can say about the first part and then Raksha will tell about the second part.
First part is testnet. Testnet, I know everyone is here must have known about the testnet. It is a 100 question, 100 marks paper, and it consists of GK, English, mathematics, and reasoning part. That's all about testnet, and I would say the expert of testnet is in front of you, Pratik sir. He knows everything more than me. So Pratik sir, I would suggest you should show some light on this.
Yeah, so I would just say that testnet is a evaluation examination. It is not so-called selection examination. What is the difference? The evaluation will happen with machines. Okay, so the computer is going to test your examination out of 100, your responses out of 100. 40 marks will be there for GK and 14 will be the cutoff for general candidate, and then you will have 30 each for English and also for Quant. Now coming to GK, GK is the most tough question you will find in testnet, and that is why it requires preparation other than those other examinations. And then again, testnet is also an examination which has element of management. Now what you have to manage, you have to manage time, you have to manage the questions you are going to attempt, you are not going to attempt, how many questions you are going to attempt. For example, are you getting nervous because of some difficult questions? So it might happen that 5-10 questions will be very tough and you might become nervous because of that. So it is also a test of temperament. Okay, so once you qualify the first round, you have to, in the first round, you have to just create an edge over other people. And once you do that through your preparation that you do for so many months, and also the preparation you will have to do for that particular 100 minutes. Coming to the cutoff for data analytics, or I can say analytics course at TESS. So this year they had the second highest cutoff after HRM. The cutoff for HRM was 63 and they had 60 cutoff. Okay, so yes, the competition will be there, but you can very well, prepare for it. Now for the second round, what is the process? Raksha, could you say?
Yeah, after once you clear the test net, the second process goes around like once the result is declared, you have to fill a detailed application form in a provided timeline. Once you submit the detailed application form, you will get the your updates on the external dates and the personal interview. Both the thing happens on the same day for like whatever preferences you have chosen for. And for detailed application form, I would suggest that like the questions goes around write a biographical sketch, or why do you want to join maybe HRM, analytics, or ODCL? And the breakdown percentage for extemporary is 20%, and for personal interview 30%. And the final, that is 100%, 50% weightage is given to testnet exam, 30% to personal interview, and 20% to extempore.
Okay, so basically, I would like to add to whatever you have said. The second round is a selection round. Here, the first part is DAF. Now, what is DAF? DAF is detailed application form, where some questions, as she told, will be there. Now, that is not going to be evaluated. The DAF is not going to be evaluated. So, it will help the panel ask you questions, get to know about you for the interview. It is not going to be evaluated. Okay, the evaluation will happen based upon the extempore, 20%, as she said, for extempore and 30% for interview. Okay, and there also the first part is extempore. Here two things I want to add. Suppose you have applied for 3 courses, so there will be 3 extemporaries, 3 interviews. Okay, suppose somebody has applied for 2 courses, there will be 2 extempore and 2 interviews. And extempore and interview are like a combo, they will go together. What will happen? For the first time you will enter, the thing. The first thing which will happen to you, you will be given a topic to speak upon. In data science, whatever I have known, the extempore topic will be from your field only. Okay, there are certain topics, they, if you have information about that, you are going to speak about that. Okay, now after that you will have interview, and that is why it is very crucial. The first part, that is extempore, is very crucial. That is your first impression in front of panel. Okay, if that goes well, then you will have interview. And if the interview, the questions in the interview will be based upon your DAF, based upon whatever you will speak in subsequent questions. They will ask you some basic knowledge and facts about your selection of the course and also about the course itself. Okay, and that is as I said, that is a selection process. So you basically have to get selected among the student who have this interview thing. Now there is, sir, what is the number, what is the ratio of selection? Shubham, do you have some idea of how many people approximately apply and how many people they get selected for the next round and so on, if you do have?
Yes, sir. I have this information that last year, in which year we got into this, analytics had the highest application, which was beating HR and ODCL, and then there was a heavy elimination happening, and around 600 to 800 people were called for interview, out of which 34 is to be selected for the first merit list.
Yeah, so as I already said, the cutoff was last year 60, which was very close to HRM program. So the competition will be tough. And for the interview also, there are certain things you need to have. You will have to showcase yourself in front of the panel as if, it is why at all you are interested in this course. Okay, that justification is something which is very, very important. And if you can justify to them, they will not pull your leg for having a gap year or something. If you can show that eagerness out there, then you will get a chance. Now there is a question, what was the cutoff? Cutoff, I told you 60 was the cutoff last year. 60 was the cutoff. Now, interview experience. They have asked interview experience. So you can give just the crux of it so that they can generalize. So Subham, you can start, and then Prithvi and Raksha will speak.
So my interview experience was
Yeah.
as I said, I was a market analyst in a big MNC organization before, where I developed the interest for analytics. I've mentioned this in my DAF, and it was clearly visible to them. So they started asking me whether I know Excel. So they started asking me questions on functions of Excel. Then they went into statistics. They went into some probabilities and probability distribution. And then they started asking me questions around sustainability, environment, and how the politics is doing, economy is doing of India. That's all from interview.
So here I would like to say that in interview you will have to have the knowledge of whatever subject is there. Apart from that, as you can see, whatever Subham said, you should have the knowledge of or awareness of whatever is happening around you. Okay, it is not that just the subject matter is important. Okay, Raksha, you can speak your experience.
Yeah, I would like to break down my entire interview duration in two parts. Like the first part was mostly revolved around since I was working, what is my job role? Is there any hurdle that I've encountered while working, and how did I handle it? And what does my day-to-day life look like while working? And followed by, since I had my graduation in like my subject was mathematics, so like there were 4 to 5 questions on mathematics, and then followed by behavioral questions. The questions on statistics were like mostly on mean, mode, median, and the practical applications of each. And what is random variable, correlation, positive correlation, negative correlation, and the mostly not basic concepts of statistics. And the behavioral questions were like, why do you want to join test? Why test analytics? Why do you want to leave your job? So they just want to test your willingness and your social consciousness. And the questions and the ending, the question was mostly like the current affair questions, the current happening that was during that time. So that's how it
Okay,
ended.
okay, Prithvi, you can say.
The interview experience was very different from everyone's, as well as I had a very vast experience of giving interviews. So the way I wrote my def, I was sure that I will get into it because I wrote my def in that way, and Pratik sir also helped me in that in refinement. So my interview was all around my def, and initially they tried to ask me about technical question Excel. So I directly said I don't know, sir, because I never used it. That's it. Then after they asked me why analytics, and I showed my passion by analytics because I correlated my daily life with the analytics because how I'm using analysis in my daily life, as well as my interview was around the social media because I am too much active on social media. So they were asked me about how the algorithm of social media works and all these things, as well as they asked me about tell me some Twitter hashtags which are trending for social causes. That time I was not getting something, but I'm that much passionate about football, so I told them football. So they asked me how football is connected to social. So I weave at that present. It is all about the presence of mind. I told them that football is played everywhere. You are rich or not or poor, football is not that expensive game. So everyone is playing. So and Indian government is contributing too much into the football as well as ISL going and all these things. So it is uplifting the status of the player who are playing football and also pushing others to play football. So I mold my football into the social goal. So they at the end they told me that you are really impressive person, and as well as they asked me a few questions regarding SDG. So I mold my whole interview in the social cause as well as because it is social sense. So you have to present what they want. So in this way, I wrote my def as well as I presented myself in this way. That's it.
Okay, so the next part is there are some questions. I am from technical engineering background. Is prior knowledge of computer science required? No. How strong should I be in maths to understand to go with the course? Anybody?
I would like to take that question. Test analytics is a course that starts from scratch. No prerequisite is required to get into test analytics. In fact, we have students in our batch from diverse backgrounds, from chemistry, like botany, Prithvi from hotel management. So he would be better in a position to address the question whether like the maths is required or not. But in and all, test analytics is welcome, welcome students from all the diverse backgrounds. So that is not a problem. Eventually, in this 2 years of course duration, you will get to learn. And our batch size is so small that we are 30 students. So we will get focus attention and get a right mentorship from our professors. And the peer group learning is also a very USP for our batch, I would say.
Okay,
So
so
you can
there is
add on.
another question. What are the roles? What are the roles which one might get after, after completing this course? What are the roles, functions which might end up with?
I'm taking this question. So
Yeah,
in test analytics, you can get any role. Whether in analytics field, you can get into the finance, health, environment, sustainability, and all these things, as well as people are going to marketing roles. People are going into investment banking, general management roles. So you can go anywhere, as well as data engineering, data science, anything. It's depend on you, because it's give you platform that you can go anywhere, because it is a known thing in the industry. You can approach on your own also, as well as we have a very good com. They are bringing companies from various diverse backgrounds, so you can go everywhere. It's depend upon your interest and how you pursue it.
okay. So there is a person from healthcare background, medical background. So she has asked, will it be difficult for me because I am from healthcare background or medical background? So
No, it is not difficult.
I would like
Senior.
to
Okay.
go on.
I would like to answer this question in such a way that a person who is already from a medical background, so that person already has the domain knowledge of medical background. And then there are many companies in our campus that are completely, they are coming and they have a background in pharma and medicine. So they will prefer people who are from medical background and have equipped data tools and techniques and knowledge in throughout these 2 years. So they would be better positioned to sell themselves among those recruiters and tell them that hire us because we have the medical knowledge, we have the pharma knowledge, and we are equipped with data tools and techniques, so we can bring better insights than our classmates. So it's an advantage that you are from a diverse background.
So there is also
example into it. And from our super senior batch of 23 pass out, one of them was from the medical background, and he got into a company in Dubai, and he was one of the highest play that CTC got. He got highest CTC, one of that person. So your background matters. When you have that great background of medical, so everyone want to take the person who have skill of analytics as well as the domain knowledge. So you have a bright future in this industry if you are from the medical background.
There is a question which says that after selection in this, can I change my stream? No, you cannot. You cannot change your preferences also. Suppose there will be 3 preferences when you will fill the form. Okay, A, B, and C. So whatever A, B, C order you have filled, suppose you get selected in A, you will get A. Suppose you missed A, then you have been selected for B, you will get into B, and so on. Now you can't even change. Suppose you have been selected in A, you want to go into B, you can't do that. Okay. So be very careful how the preferences you want to fill, and these things cannot be changed. And then I will come to the more questions, but here I would like to ask all of you, 3 of you, your experience with us. Okay.
So I was a student since July end 2022, and side by side I was preparing for CDS and all these things. So I had a temporary clearing exam also. but I need guidance for testnet, because if you see tests from the notification, we can see that there is GK, maths, and all these things, but the way they are asking questions is completely different from any other exam. And Pratik sir knows each and everything, because it happens that when I was attempting the paper in this, his voice was going in my head that he said this. So I don't have 100 minutes was for to attempt the paper, and I find that that is enough for me to attempt the whole paper, because I didn't have to think twice for any question. As well as if you follow Pratik sir's throughout, you don't have to do anything from your side, just to follow what he is telling, just do it. He will do revision of 3 or 4 times of every subject, and his mock level is far beyond the test, so you can vouch on him, because test level is fluctuate. Sometimes you will get easy, sometimes you will get hard, so you can vouch everything. As well as for the purposes, we got a panel in our mock interviews. We got a panel from the industry experts, IRS office and HRs, and I can't say, but everyone was the top from the industry. So I would say that you can vouch on him, and he's the right person for the test.
Okay, Shubham, you can speak.
I have given TISNET with my own preparation, and then I came to this realization that if I want to clear the second round, I need a mentorship and of someone who is much more experienced. So I came to know that Ignited IIS and Pratik Prasoon sir is giving mentorship, and I approached him and entered into his batch of. The batch was called Edge. Am I right, sir?
Yes.
Of Edge batch, and from the day one, it was all about consistency. You just have to give that 1 to 2 hours of your day listening to whatever classes that he is taking, and I started developing in that mindset of knowing other things. So I was from a science background, right? And people who are from STEM background especially have this narrow mindset where they are focused on only their own subject. And I was not aware about social happening, what is happening in social, political, and economical India. So from his lectures, I came to know about it, and it is very important. If you want to clear the second round, it is very important that you know the social India, because this is a social institute, and there is no one better than Pratik sir who can tell about the social India, the problems in social India, and what are the possible solutions and how to present them.
So one thing I
mock
noticed.
interviews.
Yeah, I would just interrupt and say something about you also. So one thing I noticed in Shubham was the consistency he's talking about. So he used to come to almost every extempore session, and whatever other people will see, he will see something beyond the box. Okay, and that is what I told everybody, that don't try to say the cliched thing which are said by everybody. So you have to stand out, and that was one thing which I liked very much in Shubham. He was consistent, and he, whatever thing will happen, he will be there. So that was, yes, Shubham, go on.
Yes, I even joined some ODCL classes of yours, and learned about the OD culture and how change management is followed. So that curiosity should be there, because you never know what knowledge can be applied where and how. So whenever a question comes, and I should be properly equipped. And apart from that, I would like to continue that in the mock interview with Pratik Prasun sir. There were a lot of feedbacks that he told me. I was overcomplicating my examples. I clearly remember that. And the next day, when the interview happened, and they asked me one question in probability, Pratik Prasun sir's advice was, if you are not able to answer properly, if the panel is not able to understand, accept that you are not able to understand, make them understand, and be that humble. So he would give that soft skills, he would give that bonus points which would help anyone to crack the interview. You just have to be conscious And if you are not conscious enough, just write it down somewhere so that you remember those points and apply those points in interview.
Yeah, Raksha, you can speak now.
Like Shubham, I also joined Ignited IS post testnet result was declared. And this time the time duration they provided for the submission of DAF and the exemplary was very less as compared to other years. So I very well knew that I need right mentorship, and I'm glad that I did land up at a right place. Since the Prithvi and Shubham has touched upon the academic proficiency that Pratik sir brings to the table, I would like to touch upon that. Since I was preparing for this MBA entrance examination, and at times it gets overwhelming. You tend to doubt yourself, you tend to doubt your worthiness, and there comes a point that you hit a dead end and you feel like you have hit a rock bottom. So Pratik sir doesn't only helps you academically, that happens on a very good, efficient level, but also he provides you emotional support. He will be there for you, not as a mentor for enhancing your knowledge, but he will be there for you at like each and every stage of entire journey. This is something you won't get like as per my experience anywhere else. This personalized feedbacks and the personalized help, and in fact, though I remember the Hindu sessions that Pratik sir used to conduct every morning, that has become part of my morning ritual, like for the 2 weeks. And I still feel regret that I should have joined like Ignited IS for my entire testnet preparation, because the transformation that I have felt in the 2 weeks of time was really unbelievable. And I have developed social consciousness. I would say that I was not that much socially aware till I joined Ignited IS. But ever since then, I have developed a habit of reading newspaper, and whenever I get time, this habit was not in me before, and I think this has been developed in me only by this institute. So yeah.
Okay, so this was all about me. Now we'll return to the people. Sir, GK ka will English be a problem during my interview? This is a question. So see, as far as my experience, I can tell you my experience of different courses also. There was a guy actually in some health course. Okay, so he was very good knowledge wise, but the problem was with language. Okay, so whatever he said very good, but the problem was with the language, and that too the guy used to stammer. Stammering was also a thing. Okay, so while I was having this personal interview thing with him, I told him that why not to seek the permission that I'm sir more comfortable in Hindi. Can I speak Hindi? So the only thing is that at times what will happen, the panel might not be understanding Hindi because they might be from Kerala, Tamil Nadu or something. Okay. So if you can seek a permission, sir, could I explain? Don't speak totally in Hindi, but you can smatter here and there Hindi. Okay. Suppose you want to explain something, then you can use Hindi and they will like it. Okay. There was one guy of ODCL. He did his course from ODCL, and he's now out of the college also in a good company. So he told me that when I was explaining something, I was not getting the right word. Okay, so there I used smattering of Hindi, and they understood that yes, I am aware of the concept, and that is what they care about. They are not taking a interview of radio jockey or something so that they will want a person who can speak better. Okay, it is an interview for students who are willing to learn, who are willing to pursue a course for 2 years and then become something. Okay, now there are people who are asking some questions. I will come to some collected questions, then we'll see the message. Okay, just wait a minute. Suppose a person has applied for 2 courses. The courses are quite diverse. How will they justify? Will the question will be there in the interview that why you have applied for this course and that course? Yeah,
I got this question at the end of my analytics interview, and why you applied for MHA. And so they asked him in a very, very surprised way why. So for applying for MHA, I have my personal story, which I created. not real one, but I created at that time that this is a thing that I want to become more more like a person who is a fire brigadier. Means like if I would be in MHA, I can solve the issues of people. Same goes to analytics. In analytics, I can solve the issues of people in bigger way. That's why I applied for MHA. This in core of my heart is the social service. That's why I'm doing this. You can play with the words.
Okay.
You can play with the emotions.
Yeah. Many of the people, they justified by giving the example of pandemic. Okay. So anyhow, now we'll come to a important question, which is, if I do any certifications, will it help in there are two parts to it, which I have created, by the way. One part is, will it help in the selection? The other part is, will it help in the course after selection? Any certification from anywhere, certification in data. So I believe personally that for the interview or selection in the course, I don't think that is that much important. No, it is not. Any certification or any training which might help people, like Python language certification, etc. Shubham, you can take this question maybe.
Yes, sir. Sir, we are in an industry where there is a lot of talent and a lot of people are coming into this industry. So the certification has lost the value. So in the initial period, it was that if you have a certification, yes, okay, I will see how you are doing in the interview. But now the certification value has gone down. There are two types of certification rather now. One in which you just have to complete the course and you get a course completion certificate. Another where you have to give a proctored exam so that you can get a certificate. So if you are doing a certification, do it for your knowledge, and if you have this choice for a proctored and non-proctored, that is just a course completion certificate, go for a proctored certification, so that you can show them that yes, I have gained some value and I have proved that knowledge by giving an exam. For interview, I can say, if you have mentioned that you have done this certification in your DAF, then questions from that will come to you in interview. For example, if you have mentioned that you have done Python and certification from, let's say, Coursera, then the interviewer will know that yes, you have some understanding of Python, and so he may throw up questions on you. So you have to be better ready for those questions. And if I say, after getting into this and for recruitment, so there is very less value of certification alone. If you have certification, you have that knowledge, you build up projects on those knowledge. You build up meaningful projects. You tell them that yes, this knowledge from this certification has allowed me to create this project, which can, if given a chance, make me help in creating impact in your industry or in complete market as well. So if you are able to convey this, then there is some value to your certification. Otherwise, there is no such value of just completing a course and getting a certificate.
So there is a small doubt which I have read that says, will every round will be, elimination round? I mean, will there be elimination in the testnet round, in the extempore round, and in the OPI round? So there are only two rounds. The OPI plus extempore round is called OA. OA means online assessment. Okay. And the marks of that round will come together. So once you will qualify for testnet, you will be eligible for the next round. And there, if you will qualify for that round together with the first round, because 50% weightage is to the testnet and 50% to that round, your name will be there. Okay. And there, after certain days, what happens? The first list will come, then second list will come, and so on. So if you are out there in some list also, then also you can get admission. That is the way. Now, there are some questions in the message. Prithvi, can you take that question? Can you see? Are GitHub reports essential? Can it give you edge? Anybody who has idea about GitHub?
Okay. So I will take this question.
Yeah.
GitHub report essential can give the edge. First of all, my suggestion would be like, if you know Python, GitHub repository, all these things, you have full knowledge of data and all these things, don't show or don't write in your def. Because if you know everything, then why they will select you? Ask this question from yourself. So make present yourself as you are eager to learn. You don't know things, but you are eager to learn. So don't present learning all these things, Python, SQL, Power BI, you can learn on your own. But in interview and depth, don't mention these things, because I applied on myself also. Make yourself that you are eager to learn. Only that they will select you. I have seen that my friends who are applied for this, they are super qualified. In their interview, they said, I know this, I know this, I know that you can check my GitHub repository, They don't select them, because teacher also know that if we can't teach them anything, then why do we select them?
Yeah, that is also a thing, and that will open new type of questions for you. Okay, that might open, because they will consider you know this thing, so you should be knowing this concept. Okay, so that can be a problem. How analytics work with AI? Anybody who can take this question? AI and analytics.
Sir, I have knowledge of analytics. I have knowledge of machine learning. I'm still learning AI. But what I can give an example here. So, for example, for example, we have this thumbprint that is scanning in the thumbprint before for Aadhaar verification, or any process that is related to Aadhaar. So that happens by using a combination of analytics, ML, and AI. So AI is used for predicting, AI is used for recognition. And when I'm saying thumb impression, it is recognizing the patterns in the thumbprint. It is recognizing the picture. A few days ago, I was doing a cancer prediction project. So again, AI can be used there. If for example, there are multiple images of the cancerous cells, and we of let's say 100 patients, we want to know which are the patients that have the cancer and which are the patients that don't have the cancer. For this, we can and run ML models to identify which are the cancerous models by doing basic image classification. But that would also need a back of AI. If there is no back of AI, accuracy will be low, and because of that, false detection can happen. So AI, along with ML and a pinch of analytics, can work wonders in various domains.
Okay, so there is a question, and that was also a question in the list. That can you throw some light on placement thing? So anybody can? Yeah, Shubham, you can say.
So, question is, how was the summer placement and the process and how to go through that?
So you can talk about the whole complete thing, because there is also a previous question which I forgot to ask, by the way. That is all about placement thing. So placement, and then what is the tuition fee and what is the hostel? Will you get the hostel? I believe you don't get the hostel, because it is a self-financed course, isn't it? And what is
Yes,
the
sir.
tuition fee that you can say, and then the placement scenario you can say and discuss.
So fees in for our batch is 6.85 lakhs. Keep a look into the official website. They may change it. You can get the syllabus, fee structure, everything in the official website. Just go through it whenever you get a chance. Check it. Okay. For the placement, I would give one basic analogy here. So the placement in our batch, especially analytics, is very much similar to the index funds of India. So here the students are like retail investors. Both of them are coming to the course in a hope that they would get a better ROI, return on investment. And for that, they have to consistently do things. So a student has to consistently learn and an investor has to consistently invest. And only then there will be a greater ROI. So if you are coming to the course and you are like completely dependent on teachers or placement cell or the brand of this, then that won't be a good idea. That won't be a good way of doing a good performance in this course. Here, if you are here in this course, you have to daily learn, you have to daily upskill yourself so that you get into the market standard, and you have to do it fast. You have to be a fast learner. Then why analytics course is related to index fund? So first thing, there is a growth. Everyone knows there is a data. There is a whole lot of data. After 5G, after IoT and AI, there will be more data. So more data to analyze. And this data are to there should be someone who is equipped to analyze. So those people will be us who would be equipped. And similarly, if we say index fund, so a nation like India has its own horizon of growth because it is a developing country. Then second thing is diversification. Once you have an index fund, you have invested in various different types of industries. Similarly, when you are in analytics as a student, you have this diversification that you can go anywhere. The analytics part would remain unchanged. Whether you go to a health domain or a marketing domain or a finance domain, you just have to know a proper domain knowledge from there, and then you can switch from one domain to another domain. So the scope is too high. So that's why if I say the placement is completely dependent on how you perform. It is a blank sheet in front of you. You can carve any type of future out of it. If you perform consistently, if you learn consistently, upskill yourself, you can do wonders in this course.
So yeah, I would like to add there one thing, that there is something called growth mindset. And if you do have a growth mindset, analytics is a very nascent field, I would say, which is going to boom, as Shubham already said, because of 5G, because of IoT and things like that. So what you have to focus on is value addition. If you are adding values every day to you, and when you are adding values every day to you, you are increasing your employability. You are becoming an asset, and nobody will let go of an asset. So try to become that asset. Why the field is promising? The field is promising because once you will join, you can grow with the field, you can grow with the company, because the field will grow in future. Suppose today you are going to join, you will be the first data scientist in that company. So tomorrow it might happen you will get the highest position. So these are some promising, scenario which are out there. And coming to the placement, whatever Soon said, I would again say, for this is true for any other course also. It is true in general. So see, don't see selection in tests as a finishing point. That is not a finishing point to your aspirations or your valuation. That is a starting point. Okay. See it as a elevation to your platform, which has given you a starting point, and from there you can build your career. Okay. And how you will chart your career will also depend upon what qualities you will acquire there, how better you will use the resources at hand. Okay. Not new. What can a person who has no knowledge of data analytics do to get a fair idea about it, apart from just reading about it to be able to justify in the interview? So see, you can read about it. That is number one. The number two thing which I will tell, have some knowledge of statistics, how you interpret data and all. What as Prithvi or somebody was saying, that there were questions from mean, median, mode, etc., variables. What is data, what is information, and all of that. So that will be a good start. And then there is a question, sir, what were the extempore questions or topics? So can you share the extempore topics which came to you? If you do remember anything near about that, will do.
My extempore topic was data is a half truth. That I believe it was my extempore topic, and it is true that data is how we make them interpret others, so or how we interpret it. That's
Okay. Raksha, your extempore topic, if you would like to share or something around that, some idea.
Mine, mostly the extended topic in analytics revolves around the analytics domain itself. Mine was like data governance and data ethics critically evaluate.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So Prithvi is saying he will send a list of topics which are important. So I do also have a list of topic. I will tell you that also. Okay. Any other question you want to ask? Let me read what are the
there
questions.
is a question
Mhm.
by Lisha Bhaumik saying, I'm a bit weak in maths. Will it be difficult to learn ML and doing ML analytics projects? So I would like to say that you should have a growth mindset, as Pratik sir said. Forget that you are weak in any subject. It's always upon you whether you are. It's always like whether you have put enough effort or not. If you are asking a 7th standard student photosynthesis, he would not know it. Not because he is from class 7th or class 6th, because he hasn't put the enough effort to learn that topic. So if you are putting enough effort, you would learn that. So don't limit yourself just by that you are weak in mathematics. Go and learn. If you are interested in ML, go and learn mathematics, because without a strong foundation in statistics and mathematics, ML is not something that you would be easy with. So if you want for ML, you go and make your foundation strong. And this is a continuous process. You won't become a ML engineer, data scientist, or data analyst in 2 years. You would require at least 8 to 10 years to say that, yes, I am a data scientist. Yes, I am an ML engineer. That is the level of dedication, effort required. So this is a continuous process. Learn in this process, and just have a growth mindset.
After the testnet, what's the time frame for preparing for? So this year it was less. Raksha was saying about this. This year it was very less. Last year it was some 40 days around. This year it was 20. I think on 26th the result came, and on 13th the first interview was there. Okay, and there might be people who will apply for 3 courses. So they will have to read 3 courses, they will have to write 3 DAFs, they will have to appear for 3 interviews in that time only. Okay, so it becomes quite hectic. So that is why this year what we have done, we have included the extempore thing. We practice extempore beforehand only. So that is one thing we have done. So here we are going to conclude the session for today. And thank you, Shubham. Thank you, Prithvi and Raksha, for coming and taking the queries of the students.